lady who has her own podcast called Doing Time. How about a round of applause for Drew Loryn?
Hell yeah. Keep it going for Kevin, everybody. Keep it going. Give it up for yourselves for being here. Come on. Give it up for yourselves. Hell yeah. Anybody got any step-parents here? You drinking tonight? Hell yeah, we're drinking. I got a stepmom. I recently was with my stepmom. My stepmom bought me a ton of clothes, right? So I was like really happy, really thankful for her. And she was like, Drew, you don't have to keep thanking me. Like, I know that you appreciate me, right? So I told this to my mom, and my mom was like, Drew, tell her your mother taught you that. Tell her your mother taught you manners. By the way, my mom sounds like this because she's Jewish. She's not just annoying. Then my mom was like, anytime anybody ever tells you you're good at something, just tell them that your mother taught you that. Yeah, so I told that to the guy who told me I gave good head. Fun, you know. Yeah, so now he's dating my mom. It's a wacky one, you know. She's a MILF, I don't blame her. We're fine now. I don't know, man. I actually can't give head, which is a blessing, thank you. And it's not because I'm like a naggy Jewish woman, you know, and I'm like, is it clean cut and kosher? It's because I have a nut allergy, so I can't really risk cross-contamination, baby. I lucked out on that one, huh? I don't know, man. I actually am like deathly allergic to peanuts. This is a true story. I was hooking up with this dude, and I smelled that he had peanut butter on his breath. And then while I was going down on him, I was having an allergic reaction. And my first thought was like, well, at least I won't have to fake choke. You know, at least I won't have to fucking use his dick as an EpiPen. Just get it in there, you know, just fucking. They say to stab it. That's what the instructions say. Just doing what the rules are. I went to this place called Insomnia Cookies. Have you guys ever heard of it? Yeah, thank you for cheering. I almost died, ma'am. I went there, man, and the dude said there was no peanut butter in the cookies, right? There was, so I went into anaphylactic shock for about 10 minutes, which means like I couldn't breathe. And I got the EpiPen and everything was okay, but we told the manager what happened, and now I get forever discounts and coupons to Insomnia, which is pretty cool, right? But basically what I learned is that I'm the ultimate Jew because not breathing was definitely worth the discount. So, you know, coupons opened up my airway, baby. We're doing it. Is anybody in college here? Yeah, one person who's successful, that's nice. I went to DePaul, which is like an all-Catholic school. Yeah, I hated it, man. I went to DePaul, man, and I felt like an outlier there when really I shouldn't have, right? Like, I remember recently the teacher was talking about Jews, so I like raised my hand to participate, and I said I was Jewish, right? And then the whole class turned around and stared at me. This one dude turns around and he was like, you're a Jew? And I was like, no, I just say that to scare people, you know? I was like, look, dude, honestly, the only difference between, like, your family and my family is, like, your family owns a Bible, right? He was like, yeah. And I was like, my family owns everything. Because he's just fucking, dude, you know? Like, your family believes in Jesus and my family killed him. So why should I? And then we got some Jesus lovers back there, huh? We got some Jesus lovers. That's cool. He's all right. I got a breast reduction. You want to give it up for my old tits? We don't know where they are. Hell yeah, right? We don't know where they are, baby. I got a breast reduction, man, and I hate the questions people always ask me about it. They're always so dumb. I was talking to one of my friends recently who was seriously considering getting a breast reduction, and she was like, isn't it really painful to make your boobs smaller? I was like, dude, what kind of question is that? Like, of course it's painful buying my own drinks now, right? Like, of course. It's emotionally painful. Of course. I also hate the questions dudes ask me about it, or they say things that are kind of stupid, but then I started thinking about it, and it actually turns out to be super profound. I was talking to a dude recently, and he was like, don't you think the doctor has a favorite pair of tits, right? Which is like a really weird thing to think about, right? But then I started thinking about it, and I was like, I think if the doctor had a favorite pair of tits, it was mine, you know? Because like after my surgery, my doctor retired. So it's like one of my, he looked at my tits and he was like, well, if they go, I go. You know, like I have to leave the practice. I lost you on that one, that's fine. We're jealous, I can see. Anybody work in sales here? Anybody work in sales? Yeah, that's all about all it deserves. I work in sales, man, and I work for Grubhub, so I try to help restaurants make more money or whatever the fuck, and it has turned me into a monster of a human being, right? I feel like everything I do now, I am just trying to close a business transaction, right? This is a true story. I was on the phone with this woman the other day, and I was like, hey, this is Drew from Grubhub. We're offering a special discount. Is Doug available? The lady on the phone was like, Doug passed away. Yeah. I was like, would Doug pass up on a good deal, though? You know, I don't know. Doug was thinking. Right? She's like, sweetie, Doug had a heart attack. And I'm like, yeah, because you heard how good the discount was. Okay, that's why. Yeah, heart attack. If you haven't had the funeral, we also offer catering. So, is it open casket? We can get him to sign the form. So, I don't know. It's just getting started, man. I mean, does anybody really have a step-parent in here? Does anybody? No, we're all just living life with married parents. That's fun. I'm super relatable up here. That's good. I got a stepmom. I don't like my stepmom. And the reason I don't like my stepmom, it's not really like the normal reasons people don't like their step-parents. It's mostly because my stepmom tries to make me feel jealous about everything, right? Like everything she does is always in spite of me. I was at a dinner with her recently with all of my step-siblings, and she just interjects in the middle of the conversation. She was like, hey, you know when my ex-husband dies, me and my kids get $6 million, right? $6 million. I don't get the $6 million. I just don't understand why she would try to make me feel jealous about something like that, you know? Because, like, especially growing up in the Jewish faith, like, I've learned that's not a lot of money. You know, like, it's really not my cup of tea, right? It's like a Christian 6,000, you know? Like, it's really not my thing. Maybe 6 billion is worth mentioning. Probably not. I don't know, man. Okay, got my tits cut off, hate my stepmom, can't suck dick. What else, man? What else do you want to know about me? That's pretty much my whole life there. I don't know. My stepmom recently, too, took me to a department store, tried to make me feel jealous about that, too. She took me to get some clothes, right? And she had to stress to the attendant that she was smaller than me, right? She had to stress it to her. She was like, hey, look, I'm an extra small, she's a small, meaning me, right? Like, I'm an extra small, she's a small. And it's like, yeah, cool, lady, you're smaller than me, but also, like, happy about my body, right? That I'm, like, healthy and strong and not my dad's type, right? Like, I think I'm pretty fucking, like, I think I am 5 pounds away from finally getting his attention, though. So it's fun. Yeah, we're warming up, man. Anybody? Do we know people with Asperger's in here besides all the comics that are going up tonight? Do we know people with Asperger's, man? My brother has like pretty severe Asperger's, and I really try to help my brother with his social skills, and because that's like what people with Asperger's really struggle with, right? And I really try to help him. But recently, he got into a fight with my stepmom, and he called her a Percocet eating whore. I can't even be mad about it, right? Because I don't even like her. Like we both hate her, right? I'm like, at what point do we not call it Asperger's and we just call it doing God's work? You know, like at what point? Just throw that in the DSM-5. But he deserves a standing ovation from the anti-vaxxer community at this point. Thank you. Let one person like that tag. I can't tell a personal story before I get out of here. A real personal story. Okay, gonna do it anyways. Cool, thank you. Thank you. I'm a really competitive person. That's something about me. I'm super competitive. I think I'm so competitive because I used to dive in college, right? But I dove at the same time that I was like really, really depressed, right? And I think I was so depressed because I was always focused on getting first place. So like every time I didn't get into first, I would spiral down into this anxiety and depression hole. Finally, I got so depressed that I attempted suicide. And when I attempted suicide, I went to the hospital, and there was only one other lady there who also tried to kill herself. She tried to kill herself by taking 80 Xanax. It was a lot, right? Yeah. And I started thinking about myself and like how much I took, right? I was like, I only took like a quarter of that, right? I was like, how in the world did she take me out of first place, right? How the fuck? Dude, I'd rather die in first than be alive in second. Do you understand? That is how competitive I am. All right, I've been Drew Loryn. Thanks, bye.